On May 1st, 2023, into May 2nd, Mercury will go into the heart of the sun while he is conjunct the asteroid Diana for taking aim at something that you wish to target in your life while also flowing to the asteroid of healing, Aesculapia. This is going to play out in each of our lives in a very specific way. Mercury Cazimi, especially Mercury retrograde, is magical. Synchronicity, enchantment, divine downloads. There's a way to use this. I'm hoping to share it with you based on your rising sign, how you can best harness this energy on May 1st and May 2nd so that you can receive something quite divine, quite special, and quite lovely. I'm not all ascension-y and woo here with you. I really mean it's a practical tool. And I'm also going to do something different. I've taught a webinar many times on Mercury retrograde, and I don't have time to teach this free webinar this time around. But if you want to stick around, in the beginning, I'll show you some of the webinar slides to teach you about Mercury in general, what he means, what it means when 6 times a year or so he enters into the heart of the sun. This heart of the sun on May 1st and 2nd, by the way, is happening at the 11th degree of Taurus. And so if you have placements around 11 Taurus, especially sun, moon, or rising, like my daughter with her sun at 9 Taurus, OMG, it's a big deal for you especially. And also the angular signs such as the opposite axis, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, anything near the 11th degree, give or take 3 or 4 degrees on either side. You're going to really feel this energy on May 1st and 2nd. Now, before we talk about your sign and anything else that's coming up ahead, there will be all signs after the little lesson I'm going to give you. I'm going to tell you a bit about me. My name's Lori Lothian. I'm using the whole sign house system because I am using traditional astrology, particularly the tools and techniques of Hellenistic astrology, but I add other types such as Babylonian and some Vedic. Second of all, if you want to know more about what I'm up to, I'm teaching my Sky Reader class 3.0, third time teaching, new content every time. It starts on May the 6th, as goes 7 weeks. You get replays, you get evergreen access on my teaching site to the content. Even if you don't make the class, you can teach yourself. There's a live Q&A every week on Wednesdays, and there's also, because the class is Saturdays, and then there's also a Facebook group to post your homework and share with other students. If that interests you, maybe the last time I'm teaching it, check my description box below for all the enrollment information. And also, I've got a lot of other stuff I do, including readings. I'm opening doors in the summer, June through to the end of the till September for limited summer spots. Right now, my regular calendar is booking out into October. Alrighty, so let's get started. Now, first of all, let's talk about, again, this Mercury story, right? Mercury is in Taurus. This is a sign that belongs to Venus. It's her home kingdom. So think about if I'm visiting your house, right? I'm coming to your house. What am I doing? I'm trying to please you. I want to make sure that I keep the house clean. I do the dishes. I'm like acting like what? I'm acting like a good house guest. So in the context of this story, Mercury wants to act like a good house guest for Venus. Let me show you what it looks like because we will be doing a mini slideshow and then the all signs. There are timestamps for your sign. There are chapters for your sign. Timestamps will be pinned to the comments and you can jump ahead. But I suggest you listen and learn a bit first. It could be a good idea I'm trying to teach you to fish rather than give you fish every time, right? So this is what the sky looks like on May the 1st, 2023, and the Cazimi is at 11 degrees. Now, technically it's at 11 degrees and 19 minutes. That's the 19-minute mark right up there. And right there is D for Diana, the huntress. She had the 2 hounds. She was independent. She was a sister of Apollo, but she also represents, of course, the huntress. What are you hunting for? What do you want to take aim at? She had her bow and arrow kind of vibe. She's a fiercely independent feminine energy. She was a protector of women in childbirth and midwifery and midwives. And so she has that association. So what do you want to aim for, but maybe what do you want to midwife into your life under the guidance of Diana? And you can see that this new beginning is happening here, this new start. Mercury is in the heart of the sun, getting down divine downloads. He's retrograding, which makes him even more magical. And he's in a sextile to Aesculapia. There's 3 asteroids for the same dude. It's a healer, okay, of the ancient mythology. And, magical healing potions, raise the dead, the whole gamut. He was taught by Chiron, the mentor, who mentored all of the heroes and healers of the ancient world. What about Venus? If someone's in her house doing a Cazimi, where is she? What is she saying about it? Because the last time Mercury was Cazimi, the sun here, was back in 2016. So what is Mercury saying about this event? Venus saying about this event. Does she have an interest? Is she blase? There she is. She's what we call next door. She's in the house next door, but imagine that there's a force field or a fence between the 2 houses. She's what we call off duty in the sense that she is basically kind of an aversion. It's called an aversion. Semi-sextiles are not useful in the ancient tradition. On the other hand, she has something special going on. Whose house is she in? Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. She's in Mercury's house. This is Gemini. So she's staying in his house. He's staying in her house. He's powwowing with the sun, going into the heart of the sun with Diana. And yet the issue here is that because they're in each other's houses, it's called mutual reception. They have a hotline to each other. Hello, hello. What's going on in my house? Imagine it's like they have like how the White House has that phone, to talk to Russia or other countries. It's kind of like they have a hotline. So that hotline is there and they can communicate. Also, there's a suggestion in some astrology that Mercury will take on Venusian attributes. Well, Venus will take on mercurial attributes. Venus will be more interested in things to do with messaging, communicating, writing, speaking, marketing, selling, and money, like stock exchanges, whereas Mercury will have a lot more interest in Venusian things: love, art, beauty, kindness, fairness, sisterhood, friendship, romance, and all of that. So keep that in mind. This mutual exchange is playing out. When I go through the all signs, I'll be having this chart back up and I'll be spinning the dial with you through all of those signs, so you'll get the gist of it. Now, this is the educational portion. This is a webinar I've taught. Sometimes people paid, sometimes I taught it for free. But if you're the educationally oriented type, this is definitely for you. How to look at Mercury in general when he is in the heart of the sun. So I'm going to open up that webinar. I'm not going to spend more than 10 minutes, I think, talking about the slides. I'm not going to do the whole slideshow. I'm not reteaching the whole class for you, but it might help to get some of this juice for you and be a little bit inspired, right? Get some, learning. And guys, sometimes I want to say, I just had somebody else comment to me today, and I get disheartened, I will say, a little bit, okay? When they do this thing where they say to me, this is my old webinar, so don't look at the date, it's not right. When they say oh my God, I didn't get lucky on the Jupiter Cazimi day. Well, first of all, it's a longer story than just the day that Jupiter was in the heart of the sun recently, but you have to look at your natal sky. Someone said Mars, decimated me going through my second house Cancer lately. And I'm like, well, Mars can spend money there. Sure. Mars can also give you action plans for new money. It depends also on the condition of your natal Mars. So if you really want to understand the sky, bell curve astrology on YouTube isn't necessarily going to do the trick. Think of studying with me or some other astrologer to learn how to parse the details and the contextual way reading the sky for your chart matters. Okay. Lecture over. I taught this class back in April 22. It's probably the third time I've taught such a class. So first of all, what is a Cazimi? Really, what is a Cazimi? It's basically when Mercury, is crossing the face of the sun. He can also be behind the sun. Either which way, he's going in such a position from Earth that he is right in front or right behind the sun, When he is behind or in front of the sun, we can call it the inferior or superior conjunction to the sun. In the inferior meetup, he's crossing between Earth and sun while retrograding. And that's what we're having now. And what's important about that? When he's retrograding, he's closer to Earth. When he's closer to Earth, he's more enchanted, more magical. Omens, portents, and synchronicities are the name of the game, guys. Get ready for feathers dropping, angel signs, repeat numbers. Get in the groove. Synchronicities are divine kisses, God's magical way of communicating with us. Mercury in the heart of the sun is magical. Downloads and big reveals, whether it's behind the sun or like the retrograde in front of the sun, it's still pretty darn magical. So Mercury meets with the sun 6 times a year. This is your portal to non-ordinary magic, profound revelations, and insights. In the case of this Mercury, he's also rebirthing himself. He's in a rebirth process. I got this quote from astrologer Shu, intercycle astrology. It may have been interpsyche. I think I might have a typo there, but Shu. And I want to read this quote to you because it's so effing amazing. It really is. This meeting of the sun and Mercury is symbolic of a brief opening of one's mind to wisdom, clarity, and insight. If one works with Mercury Cazimi, it has a potential to transmute one's mind to a new perspective, allowing momentary access to a portal of higher divine consciousness or support from the powers above. So keep that in mind. I think that's a key bit of what it needs to be understood. I gave an example of downloading and channeling a book called The Coming Age of Miracles. I'll put the PDF in the below if you want to read it. I haven't published it officially. And I did it during a Mercury retrograde, Cazimi the sun, in May of 2019. And I had a dream that I was escorted to see God. Yeah, literally lifted out of the sunroof of my car. Can't make that up, right? Sunroof, Cazimi the sun. And that morning upon waking, I heard a voice say, the voice of God must be heard with the ears of the soul. And immediately I grabbed a pen and paper and I began to write this down. And next thing I know, within 4 months, I channeled an entire book called The Coming Age of Miracles. This picture is another example of a Mercury retrograde. I found this little ankh underneath it was always on my desk basically, but I mean, this is a picture of it on my desk, but this is how it came into my life. Oh, I'll just tell you the story. I was channeling a new book. It was called The Children of Light, The Children of Adam in February of 2020. And in the vision, Hermes Trismegistus came to me, and I didn't know he carried an ankh. So I went to research him because he's the guy I was channeling. And I saw this image of him with an ankh. And that afternoon I was sweeping my house and I found a golden ankh, real gold, underneath my bed. No, I don't know where it came from. I had house guests. I had some Airbnb renters in there before. I messaged everybody. Nobody owned a golden ankh. You can't make this stuff up. I still have it. Okay, meeting Mercury. Anyone want to meet Mercury? Here he is. In Roman mythology, he was the son of Jupiter and Maya and the daughter of the Titan Atlas. Maya, who was the daughter of the Titan Atlas, and he was also the god of merchants trading, and he shared the attributes of Hermes, the Greek version of Mercury. When you think of public markets, stock markets, when you think of things like that, that's Mercury's realm. And there was a festival called the Mercalia on the 15th of May that was in honor of him. Public markets and farmers markets, stock markets, all of that, trading, negotiating, bartering is a mercurial story. And this is just some images of Mercury stuff, the temple, his statue, his little winged feet. Don't you find it interesting that Mercury the Messenger is the symbol of the winged feet on the US Postal Service? Well, do you know that the Masons were also astrologers? Just FYI. And the founding fathers were Masons, and they also were astrologically literate. A lot of US symbology has to do with astrological symbology. And this little symbol that we take for granted, the caduceus, this is a fun fact. This is not a medical symbol, but you associate it, don't you, with medicine? It actually isn't. It's actually a peaceful negotiation symbol and a wand that could wake a sleeper and puts to sleep someone who was already awake. That is the caduceus of Mercury. It's the single snake. It is a single snake rod of Aesculapius that represents healing. So we always kind of get confused about what Mercury was holding and what the medical symbol is. So the difference is that Mercury carried a symbol that had to do with negotiating and to awakening sleepers and putting people to sleep. The single snake, which should be the symbol for medicine in the Western world, is actually the symbol that would be more appropriate for medicine. It's interesting that the rod of Aesculapius has been lost to time, the single snake, and instead we all associate this snake instead, which is Mercury snake with medical stuff. This is Mercury's image. This is his shape by glyph. So sometimes you might want to think about, what is this glyph, right? The semicircle is the moon, right? The feminine, the thing on the top, and the soul, the self expressed in this life. That's what that Luna symbol is. The circle is the solar energy, the sun. So we see in Mercury's glyph both solar and lunar energies, and the sun can represent the eternal self. And both these symbols are over a cross of matter. Ever think about why the Christian cross has the horizontal cross so high? Is to represent the ascension of consciousness within matter, right? The equidistant cross is more like the the indigenous cultures four corners, not four corners, but the four directions. But the Christian cross of the Jesus story is ascension of consciousness, the horizontal plane in going up. The horizontal plane of the everyday material world, which is a lunar sphere, ascending higher, right? Get the idea? Jesus, ascension, whatever. I hope that wasn't too confusing. Planetary Mercury's portfolio, I kind of touched on it, but again, you can see commerce, marketing, merchandising, emails, phone calls, logic, intellect, the mind, the mental ideas you have, coyote, trickster, mischief, synchronicity, magician, travel, study, curiosity. He protected travelers on pilgrimages. So there's this travel part of him. When we study, we are curious, we want to learn and research. That's all very Mercury oriented. I won't do the whole slideshow, I promise. I'm going to finish up pretty well now. I love this Carl Jung quote. It's Hermes. Okay, I'm going to try to read it to you because I can't possibly do otherwise, but I've got myself stuck in a slideshow. There we go. Hermes was a mystagogue and a psychopomp of the alchemists, their friend and counselor that leads them to the goal of their work, a teacher mediating between the stone and the disciple. To others, the friend appears in the shape of an invisible or visible guru or some other personal guide or leader. So that's a Carl Jung on the Hermes. I'm going to just not answer that. I apologize. I don't know if it's an urgent thing. So anyway, will I go on and do any more of this? No, I just want you to get a vibe. I don't think I'm going to do the whole slideshow with you guys. So I'm going to stop the share. So I teach classes like this. And if you're on my newsletter or my Patreon community, you get a lot of monthly courses and different stuff from me. So get down if that interests you. Now we're going to talk about your sign and how to harness and use this amazing sky. Aesculapius, the healer, Diana, the independent one who helps midwives bring babies into the world, protects women in labor, but also, so what do you want to bring into the world? What do you want to birth into the world? But also, where do you want to take aim like a huntress and get something down, something right, take aim at a bullseye? That also involves Aesculapius, the healer. And maybe that mutual exchange between Mercury and Venus could also be useful as they are, kind of conversing with each other in each other's home. So let's go ahead and do all signs. Okay, so let's go over to the sky again, and we're going to start, as always, with Aries, because it's easiest to start with the first sign of the zodiac, and if you come into the premiere or wherever you're watching this for the first time, you won't miss it, right? Back to the Cazimi for 1 second, I'll say this. Basically, the Mercury in the heart of the sun, it's going to have a window of time where it's officially Cazimi, meaning it's within 1 degree of the sun. Some traditions use 15 minutes. I'm going to go with the 1 degree. So May 1st, around 2 a.m. Pacific Daily Time, adjust for your time zone. 2 a.m. on May 1st, we're entering the orb of the magic. On May 1st, later in that day at 4:27 or 4:30 p.m., we're in the exact Cazimi moment. And then spitting out the other end, May the 2nd, around 7:30 a.m. So you really have all of May 1st into early morning Pacific Daily Time, 7:30 a.m. May 2nd. Adjust for your time zone, okay? So let's go ahead and do all signs. This is just a quick video, guys. If you're in the live premiere and you haven't hit the like button, please do. Patreon gets this content ahead of time. You are watching it at least 1 or 2 days after they've got it. Usually they get it sooner, but I'm a little behind schedule. But I think just remind you of my Patreon community, $5 a month. 2 meetings with me live every month, teaching little mini classes for you and investigating the current sky. Plus, you get all my content. Everything is on YouTube, 20 to 30 videos a month, ahead of everybody else, and time-stamped and ad-free. And then when it goes to the public, yes, it's no longer ad-free. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you would like to try out for $5 a month, and you can unsubscribe easily any old time. And yeah, let's move into... Don't forget about Sky Reader on May the 5th. I'm sorry it's taking me forever, but I'm just trying to cue to Aries Sun, Aries Moon, but always and usually most accurate, it's rising sign. If you are an Aries Sun, Moon, or Rising, there is a Cazimi in your money and earning second house. Yes, you know where you get all the moolah. I do have a free PDF download under all of my videos where you can just get a deep dive into the meanings of the houses. This Mercury Sun energy is also now connected with Diana, who is actually at 11 degrees. I know you can't tell because I escalated the chart forward just to make it more easy for everyone to remind us it's all at 11 degrees, right? So if I go back a day, there you go. Diana wants you to birth something safely into the world while you also are taking great aim like a huntress to get what you want. And this is about what you want in your money. How do you want to earn money? Where do you want to earn money? What kind of money do you need in your life? What kind of money do you want? I really think this is magical. And if you want to do like manifestation for money, sure. If you want to do like a vision board on the Cazimi day and you're an Aries rising sun or moon, please give it a try. Now, you may also have insights, ahas, and downloads, especially if you're listening, pay attention to signs and synchronicities to do with the themes I've just outlined. With Venus and a hotline to Mercury in the second house, some of this money strategy can come out through your online world, your virtual neighborhood, your real neighborhoods, through websites, through social media platforms. Some of the strategy can be about what you want to teach or what you want to learn in order to increase your wealth. Third house meanings also may come through extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins, but especially siblings. This is the area, as well as trips and travel, where money and earnings / the third house themes could intersect here. All right. Finally, we have some healing. We have Aesculapia up at the top of this part of this chart in the 12th house. Now you could heal an addiction, you could heal a self-undoing pattern or a behavior. Certainly the Mercury download in the 2nd house is what you put in your mouth. You got to get rid of the vape, the cigarettes, the nicotine, hopefully not the crack or the cocaine. You can get rid of it thanks to this healing Aesculapia miracle healer in your 12th house. This can offer up substance abuse, rectification, and things like that. If you make money along the lines of me, Aries, Sun and Moon me, and you are a foreign shore and revenue person, because you make money from foreign lands in the 12th, then this is going to be maybe a new idea about how to make money from people around the world or make money on a trip because of travel, because both 3rd and 12th house can involve travel. Get ready for that divine download coming your way, Aries, May 1st and into the 2nd. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yes, May 1st into the 2nd is going to be Mercury in the heart of the Sun. In where? In your 1st house of your identity, your body, your sense of self, who you think you are, and how others perceive you. If you have a divine download here, it can be an aha idea. Obviously, it's you having the thing that's happening, right? It's not somewhere else. So you go, aha, eureka, I figured it out. Aha, I've got the mastermind idea. Now, Diana is helping you birth some idea into the world, or some new thought, or some new concept maybe, or to take great aim with it. Because Mercury here is with, the Sun and Diana, there's a huge amount of like focal intensity around maybe you are going to be communicating with somebody. Don't forget, Mercury rules speech and writing and communication. You might choose this day, if you need to craft an amazing email or make a very important text happen, or have a very important phone call, and you are a Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is probably a good time to do it. This would be auspicious. And I don't know why I'm in days instead of I'm having tech issues. I wanted to move by hour. Let's fix it. I can do this. There. So keep that in mind. Use this day to choose to write the most perfect email with divine flow moving through you. Venus in the 2nd house, it could be conversations, emails, and texts regarding money, earnings, possessions, things like that. She is in the 2nd house, Lord of the place where it happens, in a mutual reception to Mercury. And they have a hotline, as I said earlier in the beginning of the video. And lastly, there's some healing happening in the 11th house, which is about your career gains, about your hopes and wishes and dreams for your life, about the place where you're most likely to experience some kind of lucky money breaks, kind of like and quotes pennies from heaven to the commenter who didn't like me saying that over again and suggest it wasn't true. It is a karmic rewards, cosmic dividends house. You will get lucky money breaks here. Yes, you do. Okay. This Aesculapius here could be a healing with an older sibling energy as well, coming through the sky, or being able to heal some connection to somebody in your larger social friendship networks. But it may also very much benefit your financial life as well. Okay, so good for you, Taurus. Let's see what happens with this. Keep me posted. Don't forget, it's a day-long event only, right? So you might see the output of what this is about within the day of, day before, day after. I wouldn't be expecting this to have that long of an arc. It should show you its energy pretty quickly. There's a potential that, the days after, when Mercury's moving into further movement away from this, it could show up. But I'm thinking look around the 3 days around before and after this event. Well, 3 days after this event. Moving forward to Gemini. And if you're in the live premiere and you haven't hit my like button, please do. Thanks so very, very much. All of my regulars, the Feral Writer and the Crystalline Alchemist, the Herbal Empress, Mercury with the Message, Jupiter 8, Stephen the Jupiterian. Oh, you guys are such great channel names. I love them. I know I forget a lot of you all the time. Misbehaving LA Taylor, of course, one of my most fave Scottish regulars. Thanks for being in the crew who listens to my channel. Purple Table Tarot. I love the name of your channel. What an amazing channel name. Thanks for being there. Bold and Beautiful Tarot. Love your stuff as well. All right, so let's get going. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. So especially Rising. Basically, this is going to be very subtle. If anything, Mercury as a messenger who comes to you in dreams, right? The dream messenger is in a place, the 12th, which can involve your dreams and the unconscious and your meditations and your trance journeys and what comes to you while you're blow drying your hair or taking a shower. Ahas from the subconscious, unconscious, past lives, memories from past lives. So Mercury here is going to do something very subtle. It's not going to rock your world. You would definitely have to try to pay attention to it, or else you might just miss it. Certainly there could be some breakthrough in energy around somebody sick in a hospital, a sane asylum, or jail, another 12th house meanings in your life. But Diana, here you're trying to burst something from deep within yourself, your soul, your unconscious, your layers of eternal nature, and your spiritual liberation. If you're looking for a spiritual awakening, this could be very juicy for you. Venus has a hotline from the first house of your identity. Your Gemini risings are feeling oh so beautiful, persuasive, and charismatic as she moves through this part of your chart. You may be able to adopt whatever messages Mercury is downloading from the 12th house into something you wish to write, speak, or share with the world in a very charismatic way. Finally, you have at the top of the sky Aesculapia, who is a healer, and he's grand healing, magical healing, miracle healings. It's also just medical stuff as well, but he's in the 10th house of reputation and visible career stuff. So maybe some of you may find that this is going to give you the opportunity to present something to do with your career that looks like a healing of the career, healing of the work and purpose space through a divine intervention of a new dream, understanding, or download. And of course, Hygeia is in a flow to Venus. So however this healing of the career space happens, it could flow to you personally in terms of a healing of your body, Venus in the house of your body. So you may also be able to affect a healing of both purpose and physical stuff through this aha that could come through your dreams at night or your meditations, things like that. If you make money from foreign shores or stuff like that, like I do, Mercury, commerce, marketing, and markets, could give you a little boost in that area of your life around the time of the Cazimi, or some insight in how to boost that part of your life. Okay. Alrighty, Mercury in the heart of the sun for Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign people. Okay, this is very auspicious in the sense that you haven't had this since 2016. This is the lucky 11th house of good spirit. Well, you can get some money windfalls with this, but you can also get some allies and people in power benefiting you. Diana says, take aim and burst something here. You could birth a great career gain, whether it's a promotion or a raise or more chunks of career money showing up. You may have an idea. Mercury can be an idea, but you also have a message, like a phone call, an email from some larger social network person with something good to offer you in the great gains from career zone of your sky. Technically, as well, with Diana there, you may be experiencing literally an independent female, a very kind of I'm woman, hear me roar, maybe a bit of a feminist vibe woman, literally reaching out to you, messaging you, obviously a leader woman because it's conjunct the sun. And you're going to get some great gains or benefits from that, especially if it involves foreign shores, foreign lands, or teaching and learning events, because you're healing something with Hygeia in a learning house. Certainly this can look very good for a career gain if it comes through a court or legal matter where you expect to receive money coming from a court determination on your behalf. It could also look like something to do with good news around book publishing. If you're trying to shop a book or find a book, Hygeia here would be like get a publisher like Hay House, involved in the healing arts. But it could be a breakthrough through a friend regarding the word publishing. And with Venus in your 12th house, backroom negotiations and deals can happen with women, especially to fortify greater gains in your career. Things to do with foreign lands, travel, and book publishing can all emerge around May 1st and 2nd. But remember, because the house of good spirit is a lucky house, this is going to be feeling like a very fortunate time for you. Look for the signs and omens and breakthrough energies. Look for the clues on May the 1st, 2nd, when this Cazimi is underway. If you are a Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign, in this case, you're experiencing Mercury in the heart of the sun in Taurus, not last seen since 2016, in your 10th house of career and reputation. This can be a great time for something to open up for you as a new beginning in that area, but through almost enchanted, serendipitous, and magical ways around the 1st and 2nd of May. What do you want to birth in your career? Where do you want to take aim in your career? Diana may ask you those questions. She is a huntress and she has an archery bow. Also, you have healing in the money house from Hygeia. What kind of money stories can be healed here? These usually involve chunks of money, shared resources, business partners, payouts, stock investments, retirement plans, and stuff like that. Severance packages, spousal support. I don't know. Lots of kinds of money things can be healed, but as money as relates to purpose, career, and reputation. And then, of course, we have Venus, the kind of lunate. The Cazimi Lord is happening in her house in a hotline, as I mentioned earlier, called mutual reception to Mercury. This definitely can open you up to something like a favor from a friend, especially a female, like, hey, there's a new job opening at so-and-so. I'm going to tell you about it. And only, you'll get in first. Or, hey, I'm going to get you this raise because she's working on your behalf with people in the company. Or, hey, I'm going to give you a bit of micro celebrity and fame in your career right now. Do you want it? If so, take it. Eldest siblings belong to the 11th house, and a female eldest sibling could really look favorably upon you to support you to jumpstart, boost, and rise up in something to do with purpose, career, and money. So look for those events around May the 1st and the 2nd if you are a Leo rising. Are you a Virgo rising, like my daughter or my best friend? Well, guess what? This energy is going to be about the Lord of your sign, just as it is for Geminis, which I didn't mention, being for the first time since 2016 in a Cazimi in your 9th house. Well, your 9th house is a house of academia, colleges, foreign shores and lands, court and legal matters, book publishing, third marriages, temple shrines and churches, and your belief and faith in whatever you believe in. This could be a download, a new idea, faith, a new idea for a book, a message that you're going to get an agent for your book, a new spiritual revelation. You're all ready for a new divine message from God. This is the place that's going to happen. Diana the Hunter says, what do you want to birth into the world? Academically, book publishing ways, divine downloads from God for sure. Or how do you want to midwife that? Or how do you want to take aim for that? Because that's what she does up in the sky. She is also sextiling Aesculapia. Are you healing something to do with your marriage or your business partner? Or are you healing something to do with a client or someone in your audience marketplace? If so, maybe a female. Venus is the top of your sky. She's on a hotline to Mercury, and she's in your 10th house of reputation and career. Now, in the place you work, where everyone sees you, work is just call it your career. It can be that. But for the most part, it's your reputation as well. And Venus is trying to glow you up and bonify you here. I can give you an example. My daughter just got all straight A's in her last academic term. And she's getting a lot of glow up in her reputation amongst her family and friends for her superior performance. How's that for a Venusian glow up in your reputation? But, some woman in your career space just might, really look favorably upon you, or this can look like promotions and raises and stuff like that. Mercury, mutual reception to Venus. If that happens, though, look for the 9th house features. Look for something going on to do with 9th house matters. If you're an administrative job, behind the scenes, human resources, those are very 9th house things. Hand of the king, advisor, and powerhouse behind the power. Especially those professions, you're looking like you're definitely getting upgraded. My daughter works in a gym. I bet you any money they'll ask her to be a manager this summer because I don't think she's going to study anything this summer. I hope she takes the summer off to just enjoy her life. Okay, I hope that is helpful for you guys. If you're a Libra, sun, moon, and rising, especially the rising sign folk, this is a Mercury in the heart of the sun in your natal 8th house. Like, it's a money house. Mercury's a markets god. And in fact, the 8th house is the stock markets usually. And so finance, banking, insurance, escrow, mortgages, and all of those leveraged monies, credit cards. Mercury is in charge of that shit. Excuse my language. And he's in your 8th house where that stuff happens. So in the heart of the sun, if a Libra rising inheritances to, get ready for some news, some messages, some potent omens and portents that have to do with those themes coming through May 1st and 2nd. With a solar figure there, it could be about a parental figure, grandparental figure who's male. Diana is about birthing something new, taking aim in a financial way. If you're investing in the stock market, you may get a signal, a note, a download, or some interesting information coming through that allows you to either sell or buy something that could be very powerful for you. Just healing in the 6th house of debt. If you need to eliminate debt, Hygeia says, let's cut it out. If you have a sick pet, this could help your sick pet hopefully not pass away. If you're sitting with this Libra sky and you have Aesculapius loving up, Mercury, sun stuff here, and Diana, You might take aim around things to do with property rentals, whether you're going to rent one out for you or rent it out to another person. And there's a lot of energy of the sixth house that has to do with being of service, but then basically your work environment. So what healing is going on as a Libra rising in the concept of work environment? It could be something like healing a rift in a situation with a colleague or coworker, or maybe around secrets. Yeah, eighth house is secrets. So yeah, let's get that all healed up. Venus is in the ninth house, mutually receptive to Mercury in your eighth. She may act a little mercurial. You may have some really good news to do with foreign lands, travel, third marriages, father figures. Again, ninth house could be father figures, maybe money coming from your dad or granddad or great granddad or Uncle Joe or whatever. You may also experience some positive news around legal matters that allow you to thrive because everything works out. Venus, if you're in court right now and you have Venus going through your ninth house, you should win the day. You really should. I hope you do. And foreign lands and travel and females up here. It could be a connection for some of you Libras. Maybe you'll travel to a foreign land with a female. My daughter's boyfriend is a Libra sun or rising, Libra sun, and he's in Mexico with my daughter during this May 1-2 event. And that's just so very literal. He's traveling with his romantic partner in a foreign land. But get ready for some kind of deep reveals, sexual intimacy, or deep intimacy if you do travel with a beloved or you're going to visit a lover or something in a foreign country, for some of you Libra risings. Okay, moving on to the next narrative. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. Especially rising sign. I say that over and over, don't I? So I'm going to actually check off that I've done this video right now. If you're in the live premiere, please hit the like button. I would so appreciate it. Thank you to all of my regulars. I'm just going to say that I did it. Now, because I'm taking a break for you, Scorpios, and I'm just checking off a video recorded on my to-do list, which is alarmingly large, I want to say something else about life and astrology. You know, when you're on YouTube, people troll you. It's really, really weird. I sort of got out of the habit of trolling the trolls, right? But have you noticed that my body moves? Have you noticed that I don't stay still? Have you noticed that every now and then I get up and open a window? Have you noticed that every now and then I talk quick or sip a tea? Then if you don't like it, leave. Thanks very much. You don't need to go into all a list of how I should correct my performance on my own channel on the free content you're getting. I had to just do my 4 planets in Aries moment here. All right, continuing on. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. If you are since 2016, you haven't had a Mercury Cazimi in the 7th house, and here it is. This is Mercury in the heart of the sun in the house of your marriage and marriage partners. Who are they? Well, they're the one you're with. You could live with them. You may have been dating for 12 years. They're the person. This doesn't mean down here comes the bride. And sometimes business partners and certainly audience, client, marketplace. My son's Scorpio rising, tons of clients as a sales guy. So it could be about his clients. So there's a moment of delectable energy here. It could be a really amazing bit of information your client or your business partner or your marriage partner type tells you on the 1st or 2nd of May, or they may have a divine download that they're going to share with you. But if not, you could have that vis-a-vis these people. And Diana says, take aim, birth something new, reset your relationship with these types of people. Because there is a healing vibe here with Aesculapia in the 5th house, I would say if it's about a primary love relationship, it's opening up a gateway for sexual healing or romantic healing. Should I sing it? Sexual healing, So yeah, there's that happening around May 1st and 2nd, and maybe very auspicious for a breakthrough in communication around sexual intimacy and romance. Now, you also have Venus, the goddess of love and romance, in the 8th house of secrets and deep dive intimacy, as well as maybe kink and tantra. So we can take that Venus talking to Mercury in the relationship house, Aesculapia in the sexual romance house as well, and go for some of you Scorpios. There's something arising here to do with romantic love, sexual healing, and deep dives around revelations and secrets. If it's a money story, which it can be, Aesculapius could heal you in a money luck way, while Venus is going stocks, investments, 401ks, chunky some money coming at you. So it could also deviate to more energy around money stories and business partnerships. Or maybe you get the best client ever who doubles the amount of money they pay you. Maybe you get a stock popping here and it feels like you won the day. Certainly couldn't hurt to play a lottery ticket with Venus in the 8th and Aesculapius hooked up to the magical Mercury, the trickster coyote play a lottery ticket if you can on May 1st or 2nd. See what happens if you're a Scorpio rising. You just never know. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Here we go. This is a story that you have going on in your sky that opens up a portal for you of something magical and synchronous that hasn't happened for about 4 years, 2016. It was longer than that. Don't even know what day I'm in, what year I'm in. And this energy is going to be a Cazimi in Taurus in your 6th house of debts, your 6th house of things that have to do with, my brain's going to go offline, things that have to do with your pets, things that have to do with renting property, things that have to do with your workspace and colleague space and work habits and routines, and also health and health habits. If you're a Sag rising and you've been having problems with your health, if that's all been an issue for you, this could give you the divine download to make the changes needed to improve your wellness. You may also have some news coming through work that asks you to birth something new, that asks you to heal something to do with work and home relationships. Maybe an opportunity to work at home, to remove a debt because you sell a property and it's very healing. Buy a property that helps you feel better about your health. Those are possibilities for you, Sages. You have Venus in the 7th house of your marriage partnership and business partnerships, and there's a lot of flow. You could be healing something in your childhood, ancestral line stories to do with love, to do with commitment, to do with being in a marriageable energy with committed love, I guess. And, sometimes we have to undo some ancestral and familial stories of the 4th house in order to be open to love. And because there's this flow between Venus and Aesculapius, it could be a magical May 1st and 2nd healing around the ancestral and familial stories around love. I do think also that there is an energy here, basically from the sun and Mercury and Diana, that some of you may be looking at the potential for something to do with a divinely inspired new opportunity for work, because Mercury rules your 10th house. And a lot of you Sagittarius may be looking for work purpose outcomes coming off this May 1st and 2nd Cazimi. How that looks for you, I'm not sure, but Diana, the huntress, could be going hunting for a new opportunity for job work. Mercury could be the one who gives you the information. It can be very simple. Like, you check in on LinkedIn, you see a new offer that day or the next day after, and a new opening for a job, you apply, and as things begin to spill out, you realize that you're the golden child for the job. I mean, you're the only one they could have hired. There's magic in this house of jobs, hiring, and work, health routines, solutions to health problems, and maybe the removal of some debt in your life, karmic or real. All right, let's get moving on to the next sign of Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising. The Cazimi with Mercury in the heart of the sun is in the 5th house. This is a house of your children and your romantic love partners and your own independent business and your creative inspiration. Now, it could be news or information downloading through the universe on May 1st and 2nd that's interesting about your children or by your children or from your children to you. This can also be money luck, and you may have a lottery win or buy a lottery ticket on May 1st and 2nd or something like that, because speculative wins from gaming and prizes belong to the 5th house. This can also be an opportunity to birth something new, the midwiving energy, protected energy of Diana, or take to aim for something to do with those themes of luck, money, and prosperity, joy, enjoyment, creativity. If you're an artist or creative type, Capricorns, this is actually really good for getting a divine download. I talked with a girlfriend today who had an amazing screenplay idea. It's over the top amazing. She just downloaded the whole thing. This is the kind of creative downloads in all the arts that you definitely want to harness. I'd meditate, dream, pay attention to your dreams during the Cazimi. If you're creatively Capricornian, sexual romantic stuff can be activated here because Venus is in the house of dating and mutual reception to Mercury. This could open up a portal for dating someone new. If you start dating someone new on May 1st and 2nd, it's going to be a very interesting relationship because it's got that Cazimi magic all over it. Yay, it's quite enchanted, actually. You have Aesculapius. What are you healing in the 3rd house? Sibling relationships, aunts, uncles, cousins, coming through, phone calls, information around the Cazimi. If you haven't heard from any of these people for a while, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, someone could get in touch with you. Or you could be healing something to do with trips, travel, and educational things, as well as your local neighborhood. For some of you, it could be an aha to go see somebody to heal you who lives in your local neighborhood, because Venus is kind of in that house of, health challenges. And so you might hear about lucky break, the most amazing acupuncturist in the world lives 2 doors down from you, and you decide to try that person out for healing your body. Look for the physical of the fixing of the ailments that ail you physically with Venus doing this hopeful healing energy in your 6th house. Local neighborhood things and places could align with opportunities for healing in a local zone of your community. And let's keep going. And we're not almost done here. As you're in the live premiere and you're listening to me live, and I'm probably listening in the chat box with you, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. I'm aiming for 27,000 by the end of April, and I'm at 26,000, maybe 600 as I record this for my Patreon community first on April 28th. Alrighty, so if you are an Aquarius rising like I am, yes, we have a lot going on, but we're definitely having a goodness here. Mercury in the heart of the sun is excellent for things to do with property, home, land, and real estate. Now, if you want to do something proactively here, right, you could like make a phone call, do an email, or make an offer on a property. You got some kind of enchanted, magical, super powered, energy going on with the heart of the sun, but you might want to see what happens instead. I mean, it's angular, it affects all of your chart, kind of hits all the angles. I mean, certainly if like me, I have a 15 degree or 16 degree Aquarian ascendant, this is 11 degrees, it's activating my ascendant. So if you get an activation of your ascendant as Aquarius rising, it's really going to be like quite interesting, but you might want to wait and see what happens. You could have a download, a divine download, or information coming through about your childhood, your ancestral line, your family constellation work. If you want to do that this time, it's great. If you want to take aim for something, to aim or to birth some opportunity with property, land, and real estate, the Cazimi is giving you the okay, go ahead. May 1st and 2nd, I might email my landlord around the time and suggest that we extend my lease, so I'll have a home base rather than putting my stuff in storage in the middle of July. As well, Venus is a mutual reception in the house of luck for money, luck, and romance. How could I spin it? You win the lottery and you buy a house. How could I spin it? You get some news from a female romantic partner or a romantic partner in general that allows a change regarding the word home, or some auspicious developments regarding property, home, land, real estate, your domestic life, and where you live. Venus transiting through the 5th house is a love and romance transit, but it's also a fertility transit. If you're Aquarian rising energy, then you could experience this as the shocking reveal as you take the pregnancy test at home that you are pregnant, or your partner tells you that they are pregnant. The sun rules the house of significant others. For some of you Aquarius, it's like revealing that somebody is pregnant, like your partner, perhaps. Aesculapia wants to heal something, right? So heal something in your 2nd house of money, earnings, and cash flow and possessions. Now, if I use me as an example, I have no clients scheduled more or less June, July, and August. And I may be opening up limited spots, but people are booking me into October. I would likely, if I won the lottery, for example, not see anybody June, July, and August. So there's that. So you see what I mean? Like you're gonna heal a self-worth around money, a money story. You may heal something to do with the way you eat food, the food styles, the things you put in your mouth. That's also 2nd house. But the Cazimi is like downloads, insights, ahas, magic, enchantment, and special energy. And that Venus in the 5th house can be really lucky as well. Just lucky. I mean, maybe for some of you singletons, you could be taking a leisure, you go on a trip and meet somebody, or there's a leisure trip planned out of the Cazimi to something to do with the word home and homeland. I don't know. You can let me know in the comments after this happens. How did it play out for you? I do read all of my comments. I like and heart, and I comment back when I can. Lately, I'm a bit behind in my reading of my comments because I'm having my soulmate with me visiting from the United States, and so I'm really rather spend time with him than I would be commenting all my comments with you guys, but I do read them eventually. So please let me know down the line how this worked for you. Thanks, Aquariuses, because I'll tell you how it worked for me. I'll get back to you guys on the next video. Let's keep on keeping on. So first and always first, of course, are the Pisceans of the world, sun, moon, but most accurate rising sign. A Cazimi in your 3rd house is about trips and travel, journeys, siblings, and aunts, uncles, cousins, maybe about skills-based learning, and maybe things to do with the local neighborhood, as well as the online virtual one. Now, this is a kind of, Mercury is a patron protector of travelers, could open May 1st and 2nd up opportunity for travel, with Diana allowing you to birth something new through the arc of travel, or something new through something you wish to learn, because Mercury loves to learn. So some of you as Pisces are going to start studying or learning something new, or maybe planning or taking a trip as a result of the Cazimi, but it's got this magical, downloadable, super cool enchantment energy. And siblings here can be involved, maybe a phone call, email, or touch point with a sibling coming through this that is healing for you personally. Why? Because Hygeia is in the house of you. You feel healed by this. Healed emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, I'm not sure. If you are a healer, and some Pisces people are, then the healer going through the house of you, talking to the third house of education, could be that you're going to take a class to enhance your healing talents and skills. With Venus in the fourth house, a reception hotline to Mercury in her home, and vice versa, there's also a lot of back and forth to do with travel to home or homeland, communication from people in the home or homeland, people from childhood and family of origin, especially females getting in touch with you, opportunities to have a female who's in your home, women in the home, do some healing on you, kind of work this one. Fourth house Venus transits beautify your home, make your home more lovable. You love being at home. You love your private time in the home. You're enjoying being at home, right? This has been happening as Venus travels through this part of your sky. This time around the Cazimi, though, there's some kind of like action energy that Mercury tries to like get a hotline to Venus and goes, yeah, but should we take a trip? Yeah, but should we call the sibling, or the sibling calling us? Yes, should we maybe learn this class while we're lying around doing something at home? It's good for money, to things connected to real estate as well. If real estate purchases are on the agenda, Venus is also the ruler of your mortgage house, and she's hooking up to Mercury in the local neighborhood. Getting a mortgage for a house in a local neighborhood, selling a house in a local neighborhood could be very energetically alive as a result of this Cazimi on May the 1st and 2nd. To activate this Cazimi, you might want to purposely choose to learn something. I mean, it's a learning, skills-based learning class, home, house, you know? And if you do learn something that day, it may be extremely important. It may have some real intense and perfectly magical properties for you. But you need to take aim. Diana's there, right? You need to think about birthing something new. I mean, you want to start a new website or birth a new social media platform idea. This could be very auspicious as well for some of you guys during that time. For some of you Pisceans during that time, or launch a course that you're teaching, around the 1st and 2nd. I would harness that energy if you can. All right. That's about all I have to say. Thanks for listening. I appreciate that you guys were here who were in the premiere, because I'm rewatching this with you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and check out my description box for all the courses and things that I'm teaching and doing. Thanks very much, guys. See you on the next video. I don't know what it'll be. It might be a second video on the lunar eclipse. The first one's already out there. I'm thinking about what I'm doing next, or my second video on Jupiter entering into Taurus. All right. Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you. Take care.